Alex Paulton. I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Talking Timepieces, where we talk about watch collecting and horology. Today, I'm with Fred Schaub. He is with Ressence, and well, a lot of people talk about Ressence because they're such striking pieces. Isn't that right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're very fortunate to get a lot of interest from around the world on our pieces. A very different approach to watchmaking, very different way of telling time.
Well, you know, the funny thing is that oil-filled watches in the past have been primarily for diving, for pressure, whereas you're using it for the optical properties.
Absolutely. In 2013, when we added the oil to the Type 3, and that year winning the GPHG, it was the first oil-filled mechanical watch. It was exactly for that, to improve legibility, so that you can turn your watch and read it under every angle.
Well, it almost looks like an electronic display. It's so clean and crisp and three-dimensional.
Yeah, and we love to call them mechanical screens, because we know that usually people think that these are digital watches, and then we show them no, these move. They move really well, and you can wear them, of course, on a daily basis, because these are watches that should not be in your safe. They should be worn.
I don't believe any watch should be in a safe.
Absolutely.
But especially something as beautiful as this.
Thank you.
Now, the thing is, though, is that this oil fill is not just a cosmetic thing. There's a lot of engineering behind it to make sure that the mechanicals function properly, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And so we base all our models on the ETAs, either 2892 or 2824 when we need a date. But that's only because we needed a strong minute base that has proven itself. Then on top of that, we first of all reinforce the ETA, because it needs to support all the disc and the ball bearings and the axis and all of that, which comprises between 100 and 400 components that are made to measure specifically for Ressence.
Very cool. That is interesting. And I mean, when you think about the amount of engineering, so now the oil is kept separate from the mechanicals, right?
Absolutely correct. So basically your watch on the Type 3 or on the Type 5, which are the two watches that we have with oil, the other ones don't have oil, is the upper part is filled with oil and the mechanical disc are really immersed into oil. And then the bottom part has the mechanical movement, and in between the two, there's no mechanical link. When I move the watch like this, it's actually magnets that are moving or conveying the movement from the movement to the disc.
That's how you keep the seal between the two environments.
Absolutely. That seal is couldn't be compromised. So we add the magnets. But as you know, oil will expand when it's hot and contract when it's cold. And so we have bellows that actually expand and contract. That's how we avoid the bubble.
Very cool. And like I said, it's more than just a cosmetic thing. There's a lot of engineering to do. Now, this one's not an oil-filled model, correct?
Correct.
But it's very interesting how you managed to capture the design language of the oil-filled models in the non-oil-filled models.
Absolutely. The one you have is a Type 1 round, which is the descendant or the newer version of the very first Ressence. And so it has all the codes, but we wanted to add the Type 3 pebble-like and very tactile feeling of the watch on your wrist.
Very cool.
What is crazy as well was this design, because it's crownless and the lugs are really intertwined into the case. This is a 43 millimeter or 42.7 to be very specific, but it doesn't wear like a 43 millimeter, it wears more like a 40-41.
Well, that's more because of the slim proportions and this huge winding, so it's easy to use as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's part of the core concepts of Ressence. Ressence tells the time with these discs and sub-discs that orbit around each other, dividing information into easily, intuitively understandable elements of information. Everything is on the same level, so that your eye doesn't have to meet two levels of depth. It's like words on paper. It's not floating like your hands on the traditional watch. It is all on the same level. And then no crown, because the crown can break your movement. You never know if you need to pull it 1, 2, 3 times. You don't know if you need to go backside, flip side, whatever. Here we have a full lever that you can firmly grasp, and we have all the space we need to tell you in which direction to actually set time.
So the instructions are printed directly on the back.
Yeah, because we have space. Whereas on the normal crown, on traditional crown, you can't.
Very cool. Now, last but not least, this one looks not only complicated, but oil-filled, and this is the Type 5.
Absolutely. So the Type 5 is our diver watch. It's ISO certified certified to 100 meters.
Wow.
Yeah, and it still has oil. And so that was a feat because when you certify a diver's watch, you have to actually go through a lot of tests, including some hard-hitting tests.
Shock and vibration.
Yes, absolutely. And so these had to, we broke a few, but fortunately enough, now they're completely certified and they resist all these shocks. This one in particular is the Type 5L, which we released this year in June, and its dial is fully filled with superluminova for a massive lume at night.
So, before I let you go, is there anything else you wanted to say about the watches or the company for our audience?
So I think Ressence offers a different approach to watchmaking and a different set of eyes on what watches should be. We're not doing watches that are statutes watches. We're making watches for you to know that you're wearing something different and that you have a different vision of life. So we invite you to embark together with us on this vision of making watches in a different way.
Very cool. Thank you so much, Fred. I appreciate you giving me the time to talk to you during this busy show.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming. We're really happy to have you.
Thanks.